If there's any one thing I would like to be able to go back and explain to my 20-year-old playing professional self, it's this idea that we've got a shot pattern that's basically like a shotgun blast. Yes, we have a target, but it's not like we have a sniper's rifle where we're just hitting bullseyes every single time. So at the end of the day, we've got this shot pattern, and course management is technically just managing that shot pattern around the golf course. So let's pretend a pin is 5 yards from the right, and you, through the decade system, have chosen your target at being 5 yards left of that flag. If you hit a shot that you just happen to push 5 yards, it could certainly go in the hole. The same quality of golf shot, if you happen to pull it 5 yards, now you've got a 30-footer. So while the two golf shots relative to your target were identical, one is in the hole and one has a 30-footer for birdie. And I think that understanding that reality is one thing that not very many players, especially good players, understand and then at the end of the day truly accept. So what we're going to look at here is I sat behind the green on number 16 at Colonial Country Club during the 2018 Nike Invitational College Golf Tournament, one of the best college golf tournaments in the country. I sat behind the green during the final round. Pin is 5 or 6 yards from the right edge. Very good par 3. We'll take a look at it here in a second, obviously. But I plotted where every single shot went. And now, obviously, I don't know where everyone's target was, but these kids, they're not idiots. They know to shade it at least a little bit left of the flag. Not a whole lot of them are firing directly at it. But you're going to see this shotgun blast shot pattern that's just nearly 30 yards wide and 30 yards deep from 170 yards, and it was downwind this day. So downwind straightens out your golf shots quite a bit. So this is really about as easy as you're going to get this hole playing. And so as you can see here, this is the satellite image with the two bunkers short and right and one over here to the left. This is before they did their remodel. It's got kind of a collection area runoff of just fringe. It doesn't look like that's actually what they've got here in this particular satellite image, but that's what it was. And again, it was playing 170 downwind. Greens were pretty firm. That's why you don't see any shots right here in this area, because any shot that landed here was going to skip on long a little bit. And first of all, you can start to see the shot pattern is tilting slightly short right to long left. Again, that's what a shot pattern is going to look like for a right-handed player. There's not a whole lot of lefties, just by definition, in college golf tournaments. And you're going to see some really bad outlier shots over here to the left. And I feel like the majority of these are typically going to be guys that like drawing the ball, and now all of a sudden the pin's over here on the right, so they're trying to hit a little fade in there, and they hit kind of a double cross. That's obviously, I'm suiting my own narrative here, but I just can't imagine a scenario where these weren't double crosses simply because of where you would have to be aiming. And if you're a fader, again, it's certainly a double cross if you do just hit a stock fade anyways. It's just hard to imagine with an 8 or probably more 9-irons than anything, people snap hooking them that bad. First thing we want to see is, yes, the shot pattern is skewed slightly to the left. These kids aren't idiots. They understand course management at least a little bit. But we also have a lot of shots that miss the green right. And if you think about it, these shots, if we could have pulled them in a little bit, because most of these landed in this collection area, this shaved fairway area, and kicked to the right. But we've got plenty of room. We still could have moved over here. The shot pattern still could be shifted further left, and these shots would still be on the green. And a lot of these shots would now be catching the right piece of the green. And honestly, these shots like number 19, 30, and 50 would probably be pretty good looks at birdie. So what's interesting with proper course management is really our birdie looks start coming from our not perfect shots, especially like our hole-in-ones, because we're not actually aiming at the flag. Back in the 2020 U.S. Open, Zalatoris hit a hole-in-one, and Sean Martin, the PGA Tour staff writer, tweeted out, Zalatoris just hit a hole-in-one, and the only thing Scott Fawcett will want to talk about is that he wasn't aiming at the hole. So I sent Will a text and just said, hey, what was your target on that shot? And he said 7 yards right of the hole or 7 yards left, whichever one it was. And I just thought it was really funny because it's like, yeah, he hit a hole-in-one. He gets to take credit for it. He finished, I think, 6th, so he even gets to score it. But it's just not where he was aiming. If there's one thing that kind of does drive me crazy with announcers is they act like wherever any one shot finished is where the professional was trying to put the ball. So if we've got a difficult shot and the pin's on the left by some water and they hit it close, wow, what a brave, aggressive shot. Really, you've really got to be on your game to be hitting shots like that. Or he was aiming about 7 yards right of the flag and just happened to pull it. The flip side of that is if somebody hits that same shot but pushes it 7 yards, the announcers will say, it's a little too conservative here. You don't need to bail out that far to the right. We've got a shotgun blast. We're managing that around the golf course. And you've just got to be able to witness here that the best players in the world, I mean, these are elite college players. They're all +3 or better type players. and they have a massive 27 by 30 yard wide shot pattern from 170 downwind. It's just, this is reality. And the faster you can wrap your head around it, the quicker you're going to be a little more patient and disciplined on the golf course, because you're going to recognize how we manage that shot pattern around the course. B, your scores are going to drop. You're going to be a lot happier out there, won't be as frustrated, and life is going to be a heck of a lot easier. This is one of the keys to golf, being able to not let the flag distract you and pull your attention towards it. Because one last thing I'll say here is, by definition, if we're not aiming at the flag, it's because it's kind of a hard shot. So here, this is it's actually a really easy shot. If the pin was right here in the middle of the green, this is a super simple shot. But once we've moved the pin to the edge of the green, it becomes a more difficult shot. And one of the greatest tweets I ever saw was from Coach McGraw at Baylor. He said, just because the pin is tucked doesn't mean the green is harder to hit. And again, you've really got to look into what the nuance of that means. Trust it, accept it, and start shooting the scores you know you can.